My name is Olatunji Shoti Miri. I'm a performing artist and, television radio presenter and a university lecturer, Unilag. Keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Black, Africa's finest music comedian, and you're watching Sook News. If you're not watching Sook News, I pity you, but keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Timmy Dakolo and you're watching Sook News. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, co-founder Orbit Africa Properties. I'm live at Sook News. Guys, keep watching Sook News. For everything that concerns business, economy, politics, news, Sook News is your station.
My name is Olatunji Shoti Miri. I'm a performing artist and, television radio presenter and a university lecturer, Unilag. Keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Black, Africa's finest music comedian, and you're watching Sook News. If you're not watching Sook News, I pity you, but keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Timmy Dakolo and you're watching Sook News. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, co-founder Orbit Africa Properties. I'm live at Sook News. Guys, keep watching Sook News. For everything that concerns business, economy, politics, news, Sook News is your station.
It's news on Sook News reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. Now the headlines. Nigeria implements measure, bans Ghana must go bags at all airports. Federal government removes value-added tax and customs duty on cooking gas imports. Nigerian students' leadership praise government student loan policy. Bill invests $15 million in Nigerian agriculture with Valency partnership. Zimbabwe appoints John Mushaya Vanhu as new central bank governor for 2024. Thank you for joining us on News Hour. I am Alfreda Ambe-Basi. Let's begin the update. The Federal Airport Authority, FAAN, has implemented a prohibition on the usage of travel sacks, commonly referred to as Ghana Must Go, by passengers at all airports across the country. A circular issued by the authority specifically targets passengers traveling through the nation's international airports. The rationale behind enforcing this ban, as explained in the circular, is to address significant financial losses suffered by airlines and the adverse effects on the airport conveyor belt system resulting from the use of these sacks. Passengers are now required to ensure their belongings are adequately packaged in cartons or head covers of a rectangular shape. Now the federal government has waived customs duty and value-added tax VAT on the importation of liquefied petroleum gas, commonly known as cooking gas, and its associated equipment. The move is aimed at bringing down the cost of cooking gas across the country. In a letter signed by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, the government noted that the decision aligns with Bola Tinubu's commitment to improving the investment climate, increase supply, reduce market prices, and promote clean cooking practices. The directive also applies to other items such as gas cylinders, gas leak detectors, steel pipes, amongst others. And still on federal government waiver on cooking gas, Dr. Idahosa Osamanze, Vice President of Sook News, has reacted to the government's impactful decision to eliminate value-added tax VAT on cooking gas imports and reduce custom duties. Commended the move, he emphasized the positive effects on consumers and highlighted the government's foresight in addressing prior expectations. Dr. Osamanze urged Nigerians to appreciate the decision as a collective benefit for economic improvement.
But I don't know how much of a good news it would be to government, especially given the fact that there's a lot of expectation from the same people, from the government to perform, and especially to do magic, looking at the challenge that we face in terms of building infrastructure, investing in social scheme. The truth of the matter is that, of course, government revenue is going down because all the projections that, for example, the FRS had made and the Nigerian Customs Service had made, of course, in this regard, would have to be lowered to a certain degree. But I also do wish that people will appreciate this, that government is trying to be sensitive to their plight. And therefore, when we are looking at performance, we must also know that it's also corresponding or proportional to the level of revenue that a particular government will receive. But I think overall, generally, Nigerians, we need to look at our strategy and see what do we intend to do going forward. Is this going to be just a stopgap measure for the interim? Or is this something that is going to be perpetual? I think Nigerians need to know all of all this, and so we know where we are going or heading going forward. I keep using the Indian example in terms of dealing with the issue of subsidy. What they did successfully was to actually identify those who are in need of this subsidy, and directly this is paid to them as a lasting strategy. Because what that means is that the real people that you think that you are subsidizing who live in the rural area really do not even have access to gas as we speak. Many of them are still relying on kerosene, which is very expensive for them to buy. So at the end of the day, really, it is the urban dwellers that we are subsidizing and not people in the rural area. So government needs to do a very comprehensive assessment of its effort to see how to reduce the burden of some of all these issues on people and know who exactly are we targeting and what impact we want this to make on the masses.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced that bank accounts lacking a bank verification number, BVN, and a national identity number, NIN, will face restrictions on transactions starting from March next year. This directive was jointly issued by Chibuzo Efobi of the Director Payment System Management Department and Haruna Mustafa of the Financial Policy and Regulations Department. This move aligns with the CBN's efforts to enhance financial system stability by reinforcing the Know Your Customers procedures in financial institutions. The circular emphasizes that BVN and NIN associated with all accounts and wallets must undergo electronic revalidation by January 2024. To ensure comprehensive compliance, executive compliance officers and heads of compliance functions are urged to familiarize themselves with the guidance notes with with strict compliance expected from all financial institutions regulated by the central bank. The CBN plans to conduct a comprehensive BVN and NIN audit, applying appropriate sanctions for identified breaches. And also on the early exchange program today, Mr. Destiny Owogbu, CEO of Pure Brains Tutorial, shared insights into the NIBSS directive affecting non-deposito financial institutions. Emphasizing the CBN's role in effective regulation to prevent crisis, he stressed the importance of protecting depositors through mechanisms like the National Deposito Insurance Corporation. Expressing concerns about non-deposito focused institutions posing risk, Mr. Owogbu underscored the central bank's vital role in enforcing regulations and ensuring adherence to established rules.
And is to ensure stability in the financial system. So banks are basically corporate organizations that are having most of their liabilities to the public. Okay, so when there's poor regulation, it can lead to what we call a bank crisis or a bank run. Now, since bank deposits are the biggest liabilities to the public, the central bank always does a lot of regulation to protect the interest of the depositors. And that is why we have the National Deposit Insurance Corporation, which ensures that deposits are insured in the case of a bank failure, a bank crisis, or a bank run. Now, when an institution does deposit functions without having it in its objects or being registered for that, it puts the system at risk. Therefore, the central bank comes in to ensure that people obey the rules and play by those rules, because when there's a bank crisis, it has what we call a domino effect on the entire economy. If there's a reason to believe that deposits are no longer secure with financial institutions, then these people, when there's a tendency for trouble, it may affect the entire system in a bank run crisis where people begin to have the catch-on or bandwagon effect, and then moves from these unregulated sectors to the regulated sector. So we don't want that. So the central bank policy of saying that these organizations should play by the rules is in line with the articles, the act that establishes it. Now, the NIBSS simply saying that if you are not registered to accept deposits like deposit money banks, you should not be part of the payment system. But they are not really saying they are not part of the system. They're only saying that they should not accept deposits. So they are switching, should not be for deposits, but only for payments. They are registered for payment services, not for deposit acceptance. So it is totally in line with the CBN guidelines. It is ultimately to protect the depositors and to protect the financial system from any leakages or problems that may create a bank crisis, which we don't.
And now the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has expressed its commitment to monitor and oversee the implementation of the student loan scheme recently announced by the federal government, set to commence next month. During a press conference in Abuja, Mr. Lucky Emenofe, the president of the association, stated that Nigerian students are ready to act as supervisors for the proposed student loan scheme, ensuring fairness, justice, and accountability. Commending the federal government's initiative, Mr. Emenofe highlighted that this program would alleviate a significant burden on parents and guardians. The NANS president urged the government to consider providing bursaries for all Nigerian students to mitigate the harsh economic impact, emphasizing the need for some form of social intervention measures. Also, he called on the federal government to invest more in public universities, directing funds towards infrastructure development, research, libraries, and a global curriculum to enhance competitiveness with tertiary institutions worldwide. And now a report by Orange Business Intelligence. Orbit has revealed that Nigeria's betting industry generated over $2 billion in revenue in 2020, with 60 million Nigerians aged 18 to 40 spending about $5.5 million daily on betting. This speaks to the significant number of people, especially in Lagos, turning to gambling as a financial solution. The National Sports Industry Policy projected that the betting sector could potentially generate up to $4.7 billion in annual revenue, create around 10 million jobs, and contribute 1.5% to 3% of the GDP over 10 years. Fueled by the football culture, the betting industry's rapid growth is evident, with over 100 betting licenses issued by the National Lottery Regulation Commission and the Lagos State Lotteries Board. This marks a departure from historical perceptions of betting as a pursuit associated with societal outcasts. In contrary to past stereotypes, betting is now embraced by individuals across various economic strata, driven by the popularity of football leagues in Britain, Italy, Germany, and Spain. Economic hardships, both local and global, are cited as reasons for the increasing participation in betting. A concerning trend in the rising interest in betting among the youth, recognizing the allure of the betting culture and its potential impact. We take a breather and return with more stories. Stay with us.
My name is Olatunji Shotimirin. I'm a performing artist and, television radio presenter and a university lecturer, UNILAG. Keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Black, Africa's finest music comedian, and you're watching Sook News. If you're not watching Sook News, I pity you, but keep watching Sook News.
Hello everyone, my name is Timmy Dakolo and you're watching Sook News. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, co-founder Orbit Africa Properties. I'm live at Sook News. Guys, keep watching Sook News for everything that concerns business, economy, politics, news. Sook News is your station.
Hi, my name is Fred Amata and you are on to Sook News.
If you are watching this channel for the first time, make sure you continue to watch it because this is Sook News.
Shout out to Sook News. Actually, I don't know. I really enjoyed the little moment I spent with you, and I think with more of this.
Sook News. Here's the Sook News who had the courage to transcend a locked off camera and actually have a conversation with a human being. It's a pleasure, Sook News. Thank you very much.
It's glad to know you're still with us. And now in Nigeria's energy landscape, Dangote Refinery has projected to process 650,000 barrels per day, is anticipated to generate an annual revenue of $27 billion at full capacity. The refinery's initial phase, refining 350,000 barrels per day, will focus on producing diesel, aviation fuel and gas, with plans to expand to 650,000 barrels per day. Notably, the facility is set to manufacture a variety of fuels, including petrol, kerosene, and diesel, and produce products like urea and polypropylene for domestic and international markets. The refinery, designed for Nigerian crude oil, has the capacity to handle crude from various sources, fostering global connectivity. The refinery's advanced carbon capture technologies aims to capture over 90% of carbon emissions, aligning with Nigeria's net zero emissions goal by 2060. The refinery's environmental responsibility includes water recycling, and it harnesses heat generated in the process to produce 50 megawatts of power, showcasing an innovative approach to energy efficiency. The Dangote Refinery's commitment to meeting Euro-V specifications ensures compliance with high environmental and quality standards, emphasizing its role in producing cleaner and higher quality fuels to meet global market demands. And to the southern part of the country, as part of its commitments to driving economic growth in the state, Edo State has launched the 2024 Business Enabling Reforms Action Plan, BERAP. The plan, unveiled during a private sector consultation forum, aims to address critical challenges faced by businesses in the state. It includes initiatives such as implementing the Edo State Export Strategy Plan, developing an export policy, establishing cluster schemes for smallholder farmers, reviewing the Edo State electricity law, exploring renewable energy options, and revitalizing the Edo MSME Trust Fund. The government also plans to enhance data gathering and management capabilities and establish clear channels for communication and feedback. And moving on, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, Mohammed Bello Koko, has dismissed allegations of missing funds from the authority's accounts. Responding to reports that $1.8 billion was missing, Bello Koko clarified that the amount in question is not missing but rather classified as bad debt. He explained that some of the debts were results of defective concession agreements dating back to 2006, which are currently being reviewed and corrected. He noted that these debts cannot be recovered and should be written off the NPA's book to start the new year with a clean slate. Away from Nigeria, Kenya Airways has issued a statement indicating possible disruptions and delays in its flight operations over the next 2 weeks. The airline cited challenges in obtaining necessary aircraft components for maintenance, attributing the issue to a global shortage of spare parts. The CEO of the aviation firm, Alan Kilavuka, expresses concern over the impact on the airline's maintenance schedule and the extended grounding of certain aircrafts. The spare parts scarcity is expected to persist for approximately 2 weeks. And now British International Investments, BII, has pledged $15 million in equity to Valency International, a Singapore-based agricultural commodities trading house, in a move aimed at fostering the expansion of processing and warehouse infrastructure in Nigeria. The investment, contingent on regulatory approval and anticipated to be finalized in early 2024, marks BII's inaugural collaboration with Valency. The partnership's primary focus is to fortify local farmer alliances and processing centers with a potential positive impact on at least 60,000 farmers and the creation of up to 2,800 jobs in Nigeria's low-income communities. BII's commitment extends beyond the initial investment, with an option to inject an additional $35 million in equity within 2 years. This additional support aims to bolster Valency's initiatives in business integrity, environmental sustainability, and social management systems. The investment is in alignment with the UK's broader commitment to enhancing Nigeria's agriculture sector, contributing to economic growth, job creation, and ensuring food security. The UK Deputy High Commissioner, Johnny Baxter, emphasized the broader significance of sustainable agriculture in Nigeria. This strategic investment aims to address challenges such as greenhouse gas emissions, climate change adaptation, and livelihood enhancement. In addition to supporting sustainable practices, the investment reflects the UK's dedication to fostering industrialization and facilitating regional and international trade within Nigeria's food and agricultural sector. We take a short break and return with more stories. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. And away from that, the military regimes of Mali and Niger have jointly announced their decision to denounce their double taxation agreements with France. They both expressed dissatisfaction with France's hostile attitude towards their states and the imbalance in these agreements, which results in significant revenue losses for both countries. The agreements will expire within 3 months, although the practical implications of this denouncement remain unclear. These agreements cover personal and corporate income tax, inheritance tax, and registration duties. This announcement follows similar actions by Burkina Faso, another Sahelian country that experienced a military takeover in 2022. And now we move to the Middle East. White Shield, a leading organization in trade policy analysis, has introduced the Global Trade Resilience Index to address the pressing need for sustainable economic development. The group assesses countries' ability to absorb and recover these trade shocks, helping them identify areas from improvement across 58 indicators. Among the top GTRI performers are high-income countries such as Germany, the Netherlands, and United States, showcasing their strong trade networks and diversified product portfolios. China, despite its global importance as a trading hub, ranks 9th due to weaknesses in its institutional framework. The United Arab Emirates stands out as a top performer in the Arab region, leveraging its role as a global trading hub and world-class infrastructure. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia follows closely with significant progress in economic diversification and support for business-friendly policies. And still in the Middle East, Dubai has unveiled plans to achieve carbon neutrality, setting a target of reducing emissions by 50% by 2030. This commitment builds upon Dubai's decade-long efforts in transitioning toward clean energy and aligns with its goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. The plan, announced during the UAE's hosting of COP28, demonstrates Dubai's dedication to environmental sustainability and its commitment to the objectives of the Paris Agreement. The government, under the leadership of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, is focused on consolidating Dubai's status as a city that offers a high quality of life while prioritizing environmental protection, resource conservation, and renewable energy. And finally, the Zimbabwean government has announced John Mushaya Vanhu, a seasoned banker, the new governor of the central bank starting from next year. This decision comes as the term of the current governor, John Mangudia, comes to an end in April 2024. Mangudia will transition to the role of CEO at the recently activated Mutapa Investment Fund, a sovereign wealth fund. Despite criticism over inflation and a failed attempt to reintroduce a local currency under Mangudia's leadership, government officials remain optimistic about the country's economic growth and expect stability in currency and prices in 2024. And that's a wrap on News Hour on Souk News. Reach out to us via all our social media platforms and stay updated. I am Alfreda Ambe Basi. Thanks for watching.